here for my hour of arts and entertainment news. I have a jam-packed show today, very female-centric, which I love. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. My first guest here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center is Cara Andrews. Hi, Cara. How are you?
Hi. How are you doing today?
Great. So Cara is an award-winning face painter and body painter. She created art on the spot, and she is going to be involved in REVELFEST 18, who we had Richard Davia on the show last week to talk about REVELFEST, so we'll definitely talk about that. I'd love to just start with kind of your background in art and how you came to develop art on the spot.
Sure. I've been doing art ever since I could pick up a pencil. I think I came out of the womb with a pencil and a crayon.
Drawing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love to draw on walls, different things. So I always loved art, and my mother had, oddly enough, put my brother in art lessons when we were growing up. And I was always the one who wanted to draw. So later on, I really didn't take art lessons until probably after high school and into college. So
Interesting.
Also a scientist. A little bit of Da Vinci, so I went to school for art and science, and for a while was actually a chemist assistant for the FDA.
Wow, yeah, that's a shift.
I had a really cool friend named Hamid Dawoodi, and he knew that I loved art, and he said, "You don't belong here. You need to go to art. You need to do something with yourself that's going to complement who you are." And I said, "Oh, okay, good idea." So I decided to open up a children's art studio called Art on the Spot. Well, I didn't have enough money at the time, so I was like, maybe I'll travel to home, so I'm going to bring my art to the spot. So it's also an old Italian saying. And so I said, all right, Art on the Spot would be an interesting name. So I, saved my money, opened up a place, and now I've been open for about 17 years.
That's amazing.
So that's just the art side, but before that, back in high school, I helped with theater and different things for makeup and scene design and everything else. So when I started doing the studio, we also did birthday parties. So not only were we doing lessons and different things, but birthday parties, and people asked me if I did face painting. So I said, oh, I can do,
like if I can paint a piece of paper, I could probably paint a face.
Well, I did some theater and makeup back in
there
high
you go.
school, so I can do this. So we started doing more professional face painting and going to conferences and different things, and that's where I started all the face painting, the body painting.
Yeah.
And my first conference, actually, I flew to Scotland. Of all places.
Wow, I know.
I looked it up online because that's what the internet was new. And I said, oh, let's check this thing out. And I said, oh, I can go to Scotland to learn more face painting. So that was really cool. And it took off from there, and more conferences and, more competitions. And then I started to teach and do more competitions. And I won a few different prizes. First place Masters in Las Vegas, and first place in the Northeastern Conference. So
cool. Yeah, I love how it sort of evolved into that your artwork sort of led you to this kind of specific type of thing of body painting and face painting.
Yeah, it's really interesting where your path will take you. So if you just try new things, and I'm still an art teacher, I still teach children, but my face painting and body painting has become my second full-time job.
Amazing, right? As if one full-time job wasn't enough.
And then I do other art, so it's kind of like I just say many hats instead of saying 3 or 4 full-time jobs. I just wear many hats as an artist. So
different facets.
Yes, definitely.
The body painting and face painting, as you were saying, sort of evolved for you. But what are the, as an artist who has studied art, what are the different skills that are required for that particular kind of art? I mean, obviously you're very good at it, you're award-winning. So what is the difference there?
Really the canvas.
Right.
The canvas is the difference. It's, instead of paint and paper, it's paint and skin. And, there are brushes involved, and there's different types of paints, of course, because safety is a huge issue in the face and body painting community, and we don't use acrylic paints on the skin. We don't use any oils, of course. and different things of that nature. There are a lot of paints that are specifically made for the skin. And the beauty industry, makeup industry, and body paint industry have really stepped up their game in having a higher standard and quality in paints for the body.
Right.
So there's brushes, sponges, stencils. You can use airbrush. A lot of people use airbrush for body painting now, and have for a while, but it's become more popular in recent years. And so I particularly am a brush and sponge person, but I do use airbrush on occasion.
Right.
So it's really more about just shifting to a different canvas than it is.
We're going to show this while we're talking about this, because this entire outfit, I don't know if you can see it from where you are, is all body paint, which is incredible.
Yeah. She, I have to say, just the pants are not paint. I was inspired by her pants. This was a piece down in New Orleans. I go to a conference every year called LaFette in New Orleans, and we gather as a group and we do some amazing painting, and we have a fantastic photographer named Uncle Phil, Mr. Phil Brown. And so we spend about 4, 5, 6 hours on creating these works. We might sketch them out on paper real quick, or sometimes it just pops out of our minds. And I had one other person helping me paint this. I had an assistant. And
it still takes 5 or 6 hours, even with someone else's help.
It does, because, you know, people have to rest. The model, you know, can't stand
true.
for that long. Yeah, you might have to give her some water,
Yeah.
or let her go to
a
the
bathroom
ladies'
break or
room.
something.
But it's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Now,
let's see the other one.
This
is
one
another
over
beautiful
here was also a fantastic piece that we did in New Orleans.
Really cool.
So this was a small group of us, my friend Nora and Mike, and I believe Jan helped me out with this one. And I had a t-shirt on that had some little monsters and it inspired me. So I pull from everywhere. One of my faces, which I unfortunately don't have a picture of right now, but from Las Vegas, my award-winning face, I got a couple of ideas from an Outback Steakhouse. I had some pictures on the wall, and I said, "Oh, look at that! It looks very Aboriginal." So I took some of those pictures and created a piece from that, and I won first place in Las Vegas.
Amazing.
So we can get ideas from all different sources, which is really fantastic.
And so you take this artwork, not just, like you said, you do children's parties and you kind of take it everywhere, but obviously some of these other pieces are a little more adult, if you will.
Of course, they are for a different reason. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And you've taken this artwork to PVD Fest and REVELFEST, of course.
Of course.
REVELFEST started last year. This is the second annual, and I believe you did the Revel Goddess last year.
I did.
Okay.
I did. My inspiration for that was a lot of times I use a lot of natural sources, and I started with a series because I knew REVELFEST was going to be annually. I started with metal, one of the elements, and this year we're actually going to do earth. So I'm going to create an earth goddess from that. Because we do have a belly dancer who will be, in the paint and the headdress and everything, and I thought belly dance is very, kind of the traditionally fertility dance and different things, and so fertility in the earth, and so that's where I got my inspiration from.
Right. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And so the art is being done in real time at the event.
It is. I will be painting live. So we have a little area roped off, and what I'll do is I will have her first coat on.
Good.
And, excuse me. And people will be able to come in and watch us in action. So we'll be able to see how we contour and highlight and mold and shape the body and the design.
Is there added pressure that people are going to be watching you do this, or are you able to sort of zone people out and just continue doing your thing?
I usually will get into a zone.
Yeah.
I'll zone people out. People will ask me questions, and I'll be like, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I don't want to get into it right now.
No, I can talk and paint at the same time.
Okay,
it's
cool.
not too bad. We'll have it roped off though, as long as people don't come too close and.
Right. No touching the
No
artwork.
touching. Don't touch the art. No, don't do it.
People should be used to that by now. Yeah. So then you have to kind of have her ready by a certain time. Is that right? So do you have this all kind of planned out of how you're going to do this?
I do. Usually when I have a plan, usually when I'm going to do something of this nature, I have to have a plan, because you can't show up and decide to do a 4-hour paint and go, what am I going to do? So of course I find a theme. So I have my theme, which is the elements and earth. And what I do is I will start doing sketching. I'll sketch out different ideas, brainstorm, and like any other creative facet. And so once I have my idea, I will start to play with the designs and paint, and I'll do a color study, and like anything in art, you want to have a design plan. So once I'm there, I'll set up my table and I'll have all my colors. I also do costuming.
Oh, cool.
So like last year, for the Revel goddess.
Yeah, sure. Let's check it out.
Check this out.
This is part of her headdress.
This was part of her headdress.
Amazing.
Which
and so you made this.
I made this.
To go with. Oh wow.
Yeah, I created out of feathers and foam and the ever-loving hot glue.
Gotta love some
Everybody
hot
loves
glue gun.
hot glue.
Yes.
So it was very cool. So it's just a headband, and we just attached
Really cool.
a really cool headpiece, and made her some different costuming, a skirt and different things, and she just came to life.
Amazing.
So it helps too when you have fantastic photographers.
Yeah, to capture the
They
whole
always
thing.
capture it. So.
Absolutely, yeah. They have some beautiful pictures of last year's Revel Goddess.
Yes, definitely.
So-
On the website, there's on REVELFEST.com. There's a whole bunch of cool pictures.
Yeah. So RevelFest, of course, is this weekend if you want to go check it out. I want to talk a little bit more about art on the spot, because you guys do more than just body painting. I love, obviously you teach classes there. That's the whole point of the studio. You teach all different kinds of classes for kids.
Yeah, we do painting, pastel, drawing, earth clay, polymer clay, textiles, all sorts of things. And so we also have summer camps and different things of sewing and painting and everything, and the kids, just the whole gambit, because the kids actually drive me to where I should teach, and they're like, oh, we want to learn more about painting. So I actually do more painting, because I'm really child driven.
Right. Oh, that's really cool. I'm going to bring this guy up for you.
Sure.
Because one of the things you do is balloon sculpture. I love this guy.
Yeah, it's another job.
So fun.
For birthday parties, because I do a lot of the face painting, the real quick story is I face painted for many years before I started doing balloons, because people would call me and say, do you do balloons? Do you do balloons? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing balloons.
You're like, I better start doing
So
balloons.
one day a woman called and she's, do you do balloons? I said, when's the party? And she's like, in 2 weeks. And I said, yes, I do. And so I learned a bunch of balloons in 2 weeks, and then I just kept going and expanding my repertoire, and I probably can do over 300 different balloons now.
That is incredible. And I saw a picture of this massive balloon sculpture you did of a Chinese dragon. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I went to a conference in Las Vegas called Twist and Shout. It's a fantastic conference. And we learned how to do some giant balloon costuming from my good friend Carolyn Heyman, and she is wonderful. And so she inspired me to create a giant costume. Well, there were so many children who wanted to be a part of it. I said, it's not going to be a costume, we're going to carry him. So we did a giant Chinese dragon, and the children all carried him, and we had a giant parade at the farmers market, the Pawtucket Farmers Market at Hope Artist Village. And after that, it was all done. They just raved about it, and he found a home at the Middleborough Library, and he's actually still alive. He's still up on their wall.
Oh, I love it.
So it's very cool. But
so he's there until they pop.
He's there until he deflates.
Yes.
Until he deflates.
I love that everything you do is so whimsical. Was there anything about your goals as an artist that wanted to do something kind of youthful or even working with kids?
Yeah. I mean, we have a huge family. huge family. We have 26 grandchildren, 13 great
Oh
grandchildren.
my goodness.
3 on the way.
Kids everywhere.
Kids everywhere. Kids have always been a part of our life, and it's not like it's our life with kids. It's just life is with kids.
Yeah.
And so there's a big difference in our family where, so, you know, I'm around kids and with kids and doing things for kids 24/7, but there's no separation to that. It's just
Yeah.
a part of life. But I'm a comic book fan. I do the Providence Comic Con every year with face painting.
Cool.
I've worked with, you know, Hasbro and Roger Williams Zoo and Pawtucket Red Sox and all sorts of different things, and it's always just fun and whimsical. And some of my heroes are like Tim Burton,
Yeah.
and you know, a lot of just funny, crazy people. So I really love that whimsy, that odd and whimsical sort of feel to my
Sure.
art.
Definitely keeps life interesting, and
Oh, yeah.
it must be easy to love what you do when
Keeps
you get
me
to
young.
do this. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a little one myself, and it's amazing how much, you know, you remember to play and have fun when you're around kids.
Yeah, all of mine are older now. I actually have 2 grandchildren, and so
No,
I
you
play with
definitely
them.
don't seem old enough to have grandchildren.
Yes, I do. But you know what? I love them, and my little guy is going to be 4, and just everything I do, like for Easter, I was we had the Easter bunny and everything else.
Oh, awesome.
You know, just every time he comes to my house, it's like, Grammy, make me a balloon, and so
How awesome that you can do that for them.
Yeah.
You know, special skills.
Yeah, I'm a
You know?
grandma, I tell you what.
Yeah. So great. Cara, thank you so much for being here. If you guys want info on Art on the Spot, the programs that they offer, we'll have everything available at GoLocalProv.com. And of course, if you want to see Cara in action this weekend, REVELFEST, she will be creating the Revel Goddess live in real time.
Real
You get to
time.
see what she does. It sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're going to have a very quick pause. We're going to set up for my next guest, so stick around.